Hi everyone, my name is Varun. We are going to talk about how you can create intelligent inking apps yourself, as well as what Microsoft has created for you already today. Bit of a background, I recently got promoted, and I shouldn't say that, I guess my manager changed. I have a 5-month-old daughter now, and that is actually kind of making me more motivated to work in this digital inking space. And we have Robert with us as well.
Hey everyone, I'm Rob. I love the Pacific Northwest. As you can see, I'm by the famed mailbox, which is a few thousand feet up there. I'm a developer on the team and looking forward to chat with you more.
Right, so I work in the what we call Microsoft AI and Ink team. And our team has been focused on building digital inking experiences throughout the Windows ecosystem. And we're on a mission to make sure that the pen and digital inking experiences are transforming in the digital world as we are making this transition from analog to digital. And today we are just going to talk about why we are investing so much in this space, cover a little bit about what Windows Ink platform already provides anybody who's trying to develop apps that use Windows Ink, how we are moving all of our intelligent capabilities that we have to the cloud now, and then we have lots of demos throughout the presentation and a bunch of questions and answers if you guys have any. Don't feel free to interrupt. I guess we can have more of an informal conversation as well in this setup. So let's get started. So when it comes to pen and inking, I personally go back to the classroom, right? Where when we started learning, when we go to school, everything that I did was pretty much writing in a notebook, right? That was the primary tool that I used to learn. All the equations, all the diagrams that you can draw, all the scribbles that you can make, notes, everything that you learn in school is probably by writing. And then there are these cool people that can create art and paintings, and pen and inking becomes their main medium of expression. And if you think about it, it's fundamentally because there's no boundary. You can create whatever you want when you have a pen in your hand. And it goes beyond artists also, right? Like if you think about your everyday life, I have a sticky note on my fridge that says, hey, I need to buy bread and eggs when I go to the grocery store next. So if you attend meetings, you've probably used a whiteboard to brainstorm, to collaborate with others and things like that. I still see a lot of people carry a notebook when they're attending meetings and taking scribbles as discussions go along, because sometimes it's rude to talk, but you still want to make a note, and typing becomes, hey, I don't want to maybe type in front of everybody, but I can write. And if you think about all of these scenarios, just think if you can just look at all these pictures and see if you can just type that. Like, there's inking and pen just gives you that freedom of expression that typing just doesn't give you at this point. And that's what we are actually trying to make sure that we have as we are making transition from this analog world of using physical writing tools to the digital world. And that's what we are trying to bring to you guys as we build these experiences. And when it comes to that space, we really care about bringing that differentiation, because we see Windows Ink as a differentiator. Just by taking a sample survey, we could gather data that just in the US, there are about 230 million adults that use some form of inking and pen in their day-to-day lives. And now, if we look at the main purchase intents when people are trying to buy a 2-in-1 device, pen has moved to the second place. So people are looking for battery life and followed by a pen. And that's really motivating because it's a strong indicator that people want these experiences when they're buying devices. And that's exactly what we are here to build. So you will see a lot of examples in the presentation that we have today, where you'll see why that those experiences are becoming digital. And that's not it, right? Like, we see a lot of additional data that is indicating that we are moving in this direction. And in fact, we are actually taking the lead here. All the devices that you see that are being built by Microsoft, all the pen ecosystem that is being created by Microsoft, we are actually leading the way here. The data is just telling us that we are doing the right thing, because we see almost double the number of devices now that support inking and pen capabilities being added to the ecosystem every year. And the number of users that are now getting aware that, oh, now I can actually pick up a pen and I can write this on my device rather than having to carry a separate notebook. They're increasing, right? Like, number of engaged users are increasing as well. And there are lots of other financial reasons as well that we want to make sure that we keep investing and keep innovating in this space. We closely work with Office, and you will see a lot of Office demos today as well. And this is just some of the reasons that we are heavily invested in this. And now, in the next section, the essence of the talk today is essentially about how, once the ink is digital, we can actually make it intelligent. And that's what essentially we are here to talk about. And we're going to show you how you can actually, we already have technology exposed via different APIs that you in your organization can take advantage of that and build your own intelligent inking apps, depending on what scenarios you want to achieve. Or you can always use, of course, Microsoft products and give us feedback about how we can make them better. But the idea here is digital ink is intelligent. But let me first focus on the digital part. So my favorite thing when I'm writing is the fact that I can actually go and edit my ink now. My handwriting is super sloppy, but whenever I'm now taking notes, if I don't like something, I can just quickly turn my pen around, and there's an eraser at the back, and now I'm quickly able to edit, make quick changes to the writing that I was creating. And that's a huge win, because if I look at some of the notebooks that I had from school, they're full of scratches, full of dirty regions that I'd never wanted in my notes, and now I can have that in my OneNote, because it's much easier for me to go edit. Editing is one part, but now storage also becomes so reliable, right? Like, think if you can just quickly find a notebook that you had maybe probably 10 years ago. Well, you can't do that, but in OneNote, if you're taking all of your notes in OneNote, you can easily find some of the older notebooks just by searching for them, right? So storage and search becomes, again, suddenly reliable because it's digital now. Collaboration is another very big aspect, and we have a cool app that I don't know how many of you guys know in the audience already, but called Microsoft Whiteboard, that we announced yesterday, or not announced, we announced the iOS app for that yesterday. But that app just opens up the way you can collaborate with others using a digital whiteboard. And collaboration is, again, a very natural thing that you want to do when it's free-form input, right? Like, you can just do anything that you want, and now you have a very powerful tool that allows you to do that. So digital ink suddenly enables this amazing collaboration experiences. You don't have to be constrained to typing. You can create diagrams. You can create different process charts or things like that very easily just by walking to a whiteboard, or even using a device that you have and having a digital session or a call that you're collaborating on. And finally, I think sharing, right? Like, I can easily create like I can open the Photos app and just create a quick scribble and immediately share that photo out. Earlier, that wasn't just possible, right? Like, all of these scenarios are possible because now ink is becoming digital. But the essence of the talk here is it's not just digital, it's actually intelligent. And this is actually probably the oldest AI that Microsoft has been working on, because a large portion of what we do involves handwriting recognition in various languages. So we've been building these handwriting recognizers over almost a decade, maybe longer, since the tablet PC days. 20 years, right? And we still have some of those folks in our team who are constantly trying to improve those recognizers even today, so that we have this ability to understand what users are trying to create. And that just changes how you can think about the future of inking, right? As soon as you have the computer understand what you're trying to do, it suddenly makes the entire experience much more productive, because it can certainly help you achieve the final result. For example, if you're trying to create a PowerPoint slide that looks great, well, if now you have a pen in your hand and you can just draw the slide out, and the computer understood what you're trying to do, it can beautify that slide very quickly. If you're trying to collaborate on a whiteboard session and a computer understood that you're trying to create a table, let's say, well, it can certainly help you to clean up things and have a more productive experience. And that's just the start, right? Like once, that's how, I mean, we're at the start of that journey where we're just starting to learn what users are trying to do with their pen. And to make that real, I'm just going to switch to a couple of apps that we have that have already shipped. The first one is called Microsoft Whiteboard. I don't know how many of you already attended. We had a 3-hour session yesterday. If you guys haven't, how many people in the audience already know about Whiteboard? Just a quick show of hands. Okay, some, half, I guess. So for the rest, you're going to love this. So let me switch over to this other device. So the idea behind Microsoft Whiteboard is this is an infinite whiteboard that you can use to collaborate with others. So it's very simple to get going. So all you see in the app is this giant whiteboard. But this is infinite in nature. So if I start something in one corner, I could be doing something totally different in another corner, and you can have various scenarios like the entire project planning in the whiteboard. But some of the things that I really like, which kind of hint the intelligence part of it, is what they call table recognition. And there's a switch in the settings that you have to turn on to make sure that it's on, but the idea is very simple. You create a square, and it automatically recognizes you're trying to draw a square, and then all you have to do is slice it to tell it that I'm trying to create a table. And you can continue to do that, and you suddenly get a table. Not only that, once I start writing in a specific column, let's say I'm trying to create a table that says, what is the difference between analog ink? So let me create a different marker. No, I don't want selection. So as I'm writing, if you notice, the app is understanding that I'm trying to give a title, and it is automatically adjusting the width of the column. And this is just one simple example where computer trying to understand what you're trying to do and helping you achieve that goal, right? The other cool things that are there in this app are shape recognition. So if you try to draw a shape, it can quickly recognize that. Oh, not in this case. Well, sometimes it gets, sometimes it doesn't. That's because this technology is still not perfect, right? Like it's trained using some of the data that we have, but as more and more people use these apps, it starts to improve and get better. One more thing that I would love to show is you can just, in a brainstorm session, you might want to use a bunch of images. So you might want to say, you just want some example visualizations to appear there. So you can just hit that Bing search. Let's say I just want to pick the best Microsoft logo that's out there. So I can just search for Microsoft. And as I'm writing this, it's able to recognize all my handwriting and give me results from Bing. And with a simple tap, I can just drop that image on the canvas, and then I can even have multiple of those, and I can even stack those on top, and then essentially go through go through them as a stack later. So these are a few intelligent features in Microsoft Whiteboard. There are a lot more. Yeah, one more thing that maybe I can show you is I can invite somebody to collaborate so that they can join the same session and create content with me at the same time. This is Rob's machine, so I'm going to write my own name. But as you can see, it can try to recognize, oops, it did not. So let me start again, BRK. Oh. Right, and it should be able to.
Probably try your first name.
Oh, that's right.
It seems to remember from the last time when we were prepping.
Yes, so, so the other thing is this is Rob's machine, so it knows the people Rob is trying to interact with, so if he tries his own handwriting, it probably will do a better job. But the idea is here, you don't have to drop your pen when you're using this app, and you can continue your collaboration. And this is just one app, right? The second example that I want to show you is what I had described a little bit a while ago, that let's say you're trying to create a PowerPoint presentation, and you have your pen in your hand. You can just write the title of the slide, let's say interior design as the title, and this ink will get recognized because we know that you're trying to create a title, and it will give you this flyout, and as soon as you select text, it will get replaced in line. Not only that, if you have a slide that looks like this, where you're trying to create the final layout, you can simply select all that ink that you have, and you'll see a similar flyout as soon as PowerPoint recognizes all the ink. Let me try that one more time. So there are a couple of ways to do this. So you can either select all of this, and you should see a flyout. Now, well, let me try the ink to shape or ink to text option. So I can black dot. Okay, so I can select ink to text and simply select a word, and it will change that, right? And then I can say ink to shape, and then select all of that and change that. So some examples of, and again, we're just getting started. This will keep getting better as we make progress on the behind-the-scenes AI technologies. The final thing that I think I want to show you is I want to switch to the presentation here, is what we call ink to code. And this is more of a developer scenario where a lot of times, or rather design scenario, where a lot of times designers come up with different layouts of the app, including different app flows. And then they hand that layout or whatever the design they want to a developer and say, hey, go implement this. And we wanted to speed up that process. So we actually hired a team of interns over the summer, and they knew what their problem was, and they actually put together this app called Ink to Code, where now you're able to use gestures, and we are able to recognize different gestures and convert them to different components that you use in an app. And at the end of this video, you will see that it actually understands that, oh, you're trying to create the login screen page. You can also adjust different things to make sure that you get the right layout. And at the end, you essentially get the code out. And the coolest thing here was this was built by interns over the summer. And the point to highlight is once you know what you want, we are already making progress to have those building blocks that include AI, which was not possible before, but now we already have those blocks. And even a few interns were able to deliver an end product for Microsoft using this. So at the end, as you can see, we created the Android equivalent of the layout which you can take and simply run and that's live code at that point. Yeah, so these are a few examples of how we have already done some investments and made the existing apps intelligent. But in the next section, I'm going to hand it over to Rob, and he's going to show you how you can build an intelligent ink app by writing very few lines of code.
Just a couple. So first I want to point out, we've actually been using the pen the whole time as the clicker. Cool little feature we
Yeah, so the
added
back
recently.
button of the pen is actually a clicker that you can use in your PowerPoint presentations.
So when we look at the overall platform, we actually have a bunch of different components, just depending upon how much time and energy you want to put into actually inking, but we actually made it really, really simple to actually add ink to any app. So here we're talking about UWP, your Universal Windows Platform, and XAML controls. And we have 3 different types of controls that are inking related. We have an ink canvas, which is basically a space that you can ink on. An ink toolbar, which is you can bind to that ink canvas and allows you to do things like switch all these different color pens. You can add your own tools to it. We have a set of stencils and things like that, which I'll show you in a moment. All built in, and it's literally just 2 lines of code, and I'll show you how to do that. And then we have brand new is integration into the text box. So if you have a modern app built on UWP and XAML, you automatically will get the ability to do inline inking. So we'll show you an example of that in a moment as well. So with that, I'll switch back to demo machine here. And you all can see that. And so here's the app. And so I'm going to run this real quick and just show you a little bit about what it can do with those 2 lines. And then what we're going to do is we're going to build from this app over the course of the talk. Visual Studio likes to rebuild every single time. So here we've got the app, and the left-hand side of this screen is your canvas. So here you can write whatever you want. To show you off what this toolbar can do. Right, we can switch colors. We have a stencil here, which you can move around here, and it'll automatically align to that and give you nice straight text. If you're trying to do something a little more precise, we have that little angle readout in the middle. We have a protractor tool, so you can draw arcs and things like that. So all this is built in, and literally you can do that with 2 lines of code. So let me show you what that looks like. So I'll switch back to the code here. And since I hit F5, it hid my nice layout view. But basically, all this is mostly just buttons and layout and stuff, really. It's this ink canvas element right here and an ink toolbar element right there. And we just tell it to simply bind to the ink canvas. And that is really all it takes to get all that functionality that I just showed you.
Yeah, and that, like, it takes no time to try your hands at and adding an ink canvas to an app, like literally 2 lines of code. And the reason it's just 2 lines of code is because we have done a lot of work in the Windows development toolkit to simplify how a developer can simply create an inking app. But behind the scenes, there are lower level components that also you have access to if you are building an advanced app as well. So the 2 big components that we have, one is called directing, which essentially is responsible for all the rendering that is involved when it comes to digital inking, right? So the device needs to do different things in order to show you that those strokes that you're creating with your digital pen, that is all handled on Windows by this component called directing. And then there is what we call smart ink, which is the APIs that we're going to show next, which are essentially the AI or machine learning based API that help you understand what are the users doing when they have an inking canvas like that. And in ink analysis is the name that we use to represent those APIs. So if you go look up ink analysis, you will find those APIs in our docs. We have all the links to all the documentation at the end in one slide so that it becomes easy to discover. But there are 4 main components there that we will go in detail. Ink classification, layout analysis, shape recognition, and handwriting recognition. So we'll just show you that real quick with a demo as well. And then on the rendering side, there are even lower level controls that or lower level APIs that you can use to go up from hardware to even to have additional pointer events if you're interested in manipulating those. So let's focus on the Smart Ink APIs. And just to show the very basic example, we have a shape beautification demo, which we are going to switch back to this simple app that we built. And now, if you're trying to draw different shapes, we are actually going to beautify them. And maybe Rob can talk a little bit about that.
Yep. So you see this is exactly the same map we were looking at before. And you've seen a little bit of this already previous demos. So we can go in here and we can basically recognize the ink. So what I just did is I went off and told the analysis engine to go figure out what the strokes were. And then what I can do is simply hit this beautify button right here. And we've gone ahead and redrawn all the strokes as nice beautified objects. So what I want to show you now is actually how easy that really is to put together with the platform. So here we're looking at the code, and you see this is the live running code right here. And here in the constructor, we're looking at two things. There's a ink presenter object, and then further down there's an ink analyzer object. And these two work in conjunction with one another. So the presenter is basically the rendering and the strokes and things like that, and then the analyzer is just that. It's what actually has the smarts behind it. So really, it's mostly about just keeping the two in sync with one another. So here we have a couple lines that are basically, I'll make this a little bit bigger for you guys too. A couple lines that, I don't think that zoomed at all, did it? We'll leave it like that, and I'll make it a little bit bigger in here. So strokes collected, that's basically an event that's fired whenever the canvas receives some ink. Strokes erase is fired whenever ink is erased. This particular line right here is actually to deal with whether or not your app wants to be purely a pen-based app, or if you want to allow touch manipulation and things like that. So you can actually allow touch inking or mouse inking. Apps have different requirements there, so we allow you to choose. So scrolling down, a lot of this code, I'll just highlight the lines that are important. A lot of it's just kind of cleanup of the app to make sure it looks nice and tidy for you guys. But when we get strokes, literally you just take all the strokes that were collected by the canvas and we put them in that analyzer. When strokes are erased, we just do the opposite. We just tell it to remove all the strokes. And then when that Analyze button is clicked, we do a couple things. First, we check to see if there's an analysis ongoing. So obviously, your app would probably be more intelligent than what this one is doing. It would do something like, maybe 50 milliseconds or 100 milliseconds after input stop, you would do some sort of analysis. And this is basically how like whiteboard and things like that work. So you want to check to make sure you're not actually doing an analysis at the time. But really, all of the magic is that one line. And well, we're going to dive a little bit more into detail on this, but you see it doesn't return anything, and that's because internally it's building a representation of the ink that we've seen. And then when I went and clicked on that Beautify Shapes button, what we're able to do is take and find all the nodes that were related to drawings in this case. And you'll find this pattern, we're going to use this a few times here to do different things, but basically here we find all the drawings. And then one of the nice things about the direct ink platform actually is that it gives you the ability to manipulate strokes really, really easily. So here's this ink stroke builder, and what this guide allows us to do is actually build out the strokes, and you can give them different characteristics like highlights or different line widths, things like that. And then simply code just goes through each of the drawings that we found and basically discards things that are just drawings that we can't recognize at the moment. And then what we're doing here is if it's an ellipse or a circle, let's scroll over a little bit there, right there, so you can see ellipse or circle. What we're doing is we're creating some drawing attributes, and this is what I was mentioning, right? So you can give it color and line width and things like that, and then creating a stroke from that with this guy. And then we have a little helper function, which in this case, we're trying to do our best to approximate an ellipse because we're actually trying to keep the ink as ink. If it's your own native app, you might want to convert it into some object format that's appropriate for your app. And then simply re-adding that stroke to our stroke container, and this is basically what we would show. And then in our else statement down here, we have a polygon, and basically the analysis engine can tell us really smart things about like, hey, we think all the, the 3 points of the triangle are, at these 3 particular locations. And it's almost exactly the same code. There's only one small difference is we're just telling it to draw straight lines. And then pretty much the rest of it's just cleanup. We're just telling it just remove all the old strokes from the container and deleting those. And you got what we saw for the demo. So I'm going to switch back right quick to this guy, and you got the clicker. So just to recap that just real quick, just to show you really how easy it is and kind of distill it all. The basic recognition pipeline is basically these 4 steps. So you're going to add strokes to the ink analyzer. You can see we have the strokes collected and erased there. And then you're going to analyze those strokes, find the nodes you're interested in. And you can see this one gives you a little bit more preview of what all you can get. You can get paragraphs and words and things like that. And then you can traverse that tree and do cool things. And we'll show you more of that in a moment.
Yeah, so these are some basic shapes that we already recognize. It was really easy to just call that ink analyzer in an async form and just get all the data back and do the cool stuff with it, right? So the next demo is essentially taking the next step. So because it's an open canvas, the content can be both shape as well as text, right? So we talked about only shapes, but what about handwriting and how is that laid out on that canvas? Can we understand that? Is the next part of the app. So that's the next demo where now we are going to write something and then see what we can understand of what is it is written and how is that represented in code and what we can do with it.
Yep. So let's switch back over here real quick. And we can do this a couple ways. I can load up some ink. That's probably the easier way since you don't want to see how bad my handwriting is. And so here we've got some ink. I'm going to go off and tell it to recognize. And basically what it did just reasoned over everything here. And we actually have mixed content here as well. And what I can do is basically go over here. And that's not any better. Do you know how to make that switch over real quick? We were messing with my display resolution earlier, and it's not zooming like I would have liked. We have to go back to, oh, there you go. Oh, mouse wheel, look at that. Varun's on it. All right, so what we get back is all the recognized words, and we can see here we have recognized words and we have alternates. So you can basically, if our recognition isn't quite spot on, you can basically present your user with a different set of results there, and do what you'd like with that. So now that we've reasoned over everything, we have all kinds of rich information about what the ink actually is. So we can do cool things like show all the bounding boxes of everything that we think is related to one another. And these bounding boxes are actually nested so that things like your words, it knows that the word is a part of a line, and the lines are part of paragraphs and things like that. So you can do cool things like word, if you ever use that, where you can basically click a word and then double click the word and maybe triple click the word, where you can like expand out your selection very, very easily. And so you can do that with the bounding boxes. Because we have bounding boxes, we can actually do neat stuff like we can align the text. So if you watch, all that text just justified to the left, and so you can keep the ink as ink and manipulate it so that you clean it up just that little bit. You could do rotation, all kinds of things like that if you really wanted to. One of the most powerful things you can do in here is
you can actually write with your pen. You don't have to type.
This is true. I could actually write in this one, couldn't I? I've mixed up the pens. Put that one over there. We should get different color pens next time. So I could have gone in here and written this. We're going to demo this a little bit more in a minute, but I could have written this right in the box. And this is that inline text control I was talking about. Hit go, and you notice I was actually able to find all of the strokes that represented the word analysis there. So really, really powerful things there that you can do. And what I'm going to do next is basically show you how you can do all that. So we kind of already went through the basic part of the flow, right, where we've gone through and done the analysis, kept all the strokes in sync. That's all exactly the same. What I did when I did the handwriting, where I showed the recognized words and alternates, is literally just go through all the nodes that are of type line and all of the words in those, and I was able to basically just build up this status string by looking at the recognized text. And then those alternates that we were looking at are built in this next line. So you can see we simply return recognized text and text on alternates, and it's very, very simple to use from a developer standpoint. We didn't touch too much on this, but we also recognize bullets. So you can do cleanup and things like that you like for that. So search box, when I clicked on that find button, basically we look for all the words that we'd found in the document, and really simple, just did a contains, check. And when we saw that, we basically went through, and there's a concept of a stroke ID that every stroke gets, and it's an integer in this case. And when you do the inking, and then when you get the result back, that's basically your mapping point. So, stroke 1 will come back as stroke 1, and stroke 1 will then have all the information about how it's behaving in the document. And so here we basically get all the stroke IDs that are associated with the word that we found, and we simply use the direct ink APIs to basically go back and recolor that thing green and re-add it to our resulting strokes. And you saw what we got with the highlights. And the bounding boxes, same thing, very, very similar, very simple. This guy's basically just going through, we know all the bounding box dimensions basically, and we can just draw a box around that for demo purposes here. But like I said, you can do all kinds of neat stuff with it, like the align text here. Basically all we're doing is we grabbed all the lines that were returned back in the document. We ordered those, figure out which is the leftmost, maybe you have more fancy logic here. And then literally just the stroke container gives you the ability to move those points around. So we shifted them all left, and you got that nice, beautiful left-aligned text. So let's go back to the presentation real quick. And
yeah, so the way all of this is working, essentially the way we are able to understand how the text is laid out is because the API that we're using to understand what that ink is, when we call that analyzer to say, hey, here are my all ink strokes, tell me what they are, behind the scenes we're actually building this document tree. So for example, if this was the input to that analyzer, we are actually building this tree where we are able to understand what places in this ink is writing versus what place in this is drawing. So if there were shapes in this, then we would classify them as writing versus drawing. And then within each writing region, we can identify different paragraphs and lines. And within each line, if there can be list items, and in list items, there can be more lines. And at the root of it is essentially each individual word, right? Each individual word is forming this entire document, as well as ink bullets. So there might be bullets in front of that begin the list, that identify a list. So essentially, we are creating this tree, and then in code, you can just basically traverse this tree to get to a specific line or to get to a specific paragraph, and then you can build different things that Robert showed, like, hey, align all of these lines to the left or to the right, and things like that. And then comes the handwriting recognition, right? Like now, once we have identified each word and each line, now we know which language the user is using and can understand, use our handwriting recognizers to tell us what that word was, to do cool things like search, which can be indexed and then searched again, or even replace, right? Like in PowerPoint you saw, I just wrote the title of the slide and we could replace that as text in that slide. So all of that is basically being powered using this technology. And not only that, we also understand if you write cursive, we understand that because we have been collecting samples over a long time, and I know a lot of, earlier a lot of people used to write cursive. I don't know how to do that, but a lot of people in my team.
Lost art.
Yeah, and because this is an open canvas, we find a lot of people also write at an angle. If you have guiding lines, then probably people write on that line. But if it's an open canvas, if it's like a whiteboard, people do write at not just horizontal. And we have the ability, we understand that kind of an input as well, and we can recognize that as well. So that's something that some of our competitors are not able to do, but we are able to do because we have the behind the scene data. And now to take this and build a little more complex logic, we have an app called what we call Tidyfy. And the idea behind this app is essentially you can treat your ink notes and as handwriting, but still apply all the transformations that you typically apply to something that you type. For example, I can simply double tap and select that line. And let's say I want to increase the boldness of that line because those are key points. That's my title. Or I want to change the color, or I want to move that a little bit up because that's where it should be. Or I can just double tap this list and say I want to left align everything so that it's looking better, or right align everything, or center align. You get the idea. Or let's say I want to, this line is a little off. So the other idea that you can do is you can just simply hit this one button, Tidyfy, and it just makes everything look much better. So a lot of time what we find is people take notes in apps like OneNote, but they don't look organized. But because we understand the layout information, now we can just, with one tap of a button, you can just clean up everything. And the cool thing is this goes across different languages as well, right? Like if I have a sample, this is my sample. But again, I can just tell the analyzer, so this button tells it to analyze, and then I can just say Tidyfy, and suddenly all the notes are much organized in a much cleaner format that then you can continue to use as ink. So I can actually go here and erase this, right? Like I can select the eraser and get rid of this. This is still ink, but you can do cool things with it now. The other example that I'd like to show is something that I personally cannot write, but like even if you have multilingual input, we can still say Tidyfy, and it still does what it's supposed to do because it understands the semantic and the layout information of it. And this is just a quick way of showing off that, hey, once you have the knowledge of what people are writing, you can do a lot of things that were not possible early on, right? Right, so let's switch back to the presentation, and this is my favorite part of the talk here. So this is all part of Windows, but we have already done the hard work to move all of this machine learning capabilities to the cloud. So all of this is already running as part of our cloud-based ink intelligence effort, and it's already available as a REST API to anybody who wants to use that. So to show, and that kind of gives you this amazing advantage because now you're not tied to a specific platform. Even if you have scenarios where you have apps that are not running on Windows, you can still build those inking apps and make them intelligent with the power of our cloud. And it provides everything that you just saw, but it gives you much more because now that we are in the cloud, we are able to release stuff much faster, and we are able to use the power of the cloud, which can give us more leeway in building these models, which can be much bigger. And because in the cloud, we have no limitation, right? Like we can have much larger storage, we can have much bigger processors that are not tied to your device. And that just opens up a lot of things because we suddenly become more accurate, and it has a lot of advantages of why you want the intelligence to live in the cloud, but apps trying to give all its thing to the cloud and then taking advantage of that. So we are running a private preview. So if any of you are interested in trying those APIs out, reach us at windowsinc@microsoft.com with an email, and we should be able to give you access to those APIs. If you have developers in your organizations that might be interested, we would love to hear from you what scenarios you can imagine in your organizations that can take advantage of this. So definitely reach out. To make that real though, we built the same app that you guys saw right now, which was the basic inking app, as a web app. So it's going to run in the browser, it's going to allow you to ink, and then it's going to be smarter because we have the power of the cloud.
Yep.
So Rob, why don't you?
I will show you guys that. And I wanted to give a shout out to PowerPoint because what you just saw demoed was using this very service that we're going to show you today.
Right, so the demo that you saw in PowerPoint is actually using our cloud service. So
I'm going to show you, this is a separate project that we're looking at earlier, and we're just going to breeze through this fairly quick since we know this is not a hardcore coding session, but basically this is a Node.js app that we built to basically show off the capabilities that this is truly cross-platform, and you can do things in Android or iPad or wherever you want. And the basic overall layout of this thing is we have an app, we have a few JavaScript files where we're kind of replicating some of what Direct Ink does. Canvas control, which we'll talk a little bit about, but that's basically where it's an HTML5 canvas, and you get input events, and basically you can ink in that. And then we have an ink analysis object as well, which is a little bit of a helper and some server-side code. So I'll chat more about this, but I want to show you this is a live project right here, and I'm going to go ahead and hit the web server button. And while that's coming up, this is one of the examples I want to talk about, the ink analysis there, where you can see it's Node.js. It's coming up. That was very quick, so I didn't get a chance to talk about that, but we'll get back to that in a moment. But you can see this looks very, very similar to what we had before, so I'm just going to breeze through this as far as demo. But here we can ink in this guy. Right, we have a send request button here, and now instead of doing everything locally, that actually just sent that off to the web service. And so we sent some JSON input as input, and we got some JSON as the output right there. And so we can look at that response right there. Like I said, I won't go into a lot of detail, but just to show you, this is the type of data you would get back. You get things like the bounding rectangle that we already touched on. We get the fact that this was, we had a quadrilateral recognized object in there, and a bunch of other information that you can use, including points and rotated rectangles and things like that. But because I have all that data sitting in front of me, right, I can do all the stuff we saw before. I can actually beautify those shapes right there in the browser window. I'll load up a little bit of ink here that I inked up earlier. So your pretend shopping list for your tasty sandwich there, we'll send that off for analysis. And now we can do what we did before, right? We get the recognized words and the alternates. And one thing I want to show you, obviously you can align the text because they have all the text box all the bounding box information. Another thing we can do, which you saw earlier, is we can search this. And so I can go in here and I can type ink, and I can do the find, and I can do the search. So you can see we actually have full fidelity with the local experience with the cloud service. So you can do all that cool stuff. So what I'm going to do is give you a quick tour of what that looks like. And I'm going to switch back to the presentation. So we won't walk through that code because it's a little bit more, a little more dense, I'll say, because we don't have direct ink to help us with all the things. But first I want to just step back real quick, because when you're handling basically the raw input yourself, you actually have to think about a few things like what actually is digital ink. So really it's just a set of strokes, and like I mentioned earlier, those strokes should have some sort of identifier that we can track back to for our analysis. But the stroke is basically just a series of points that's generated by your input hardware, so a mouse or touch or pen or whatever it might be, that you can capture. And every platform basically has an input stack of some sort that replicates this and gives you the point in space relative to some known position. So in that case, I was using a canvas element and able to pick up the pointer events. One thing that we want to highlight is input device actually has the ability to record order and timing of points as well. So this is one big difference between a pen and, say, like a camera. So if you take a photo of a whiteboard, it's a much more difficult problem to solve generically, to know that like this ink over in one particular quadrant is related to another set. So if you have a pen and it's able to record precision timing information, now I can say, hey, these strokes probably are related. I don't know for 100% sure, but it's a much higher chance that strokes are related based on timing. Plus you can do cool things like ink record and replay and things like that, which some of our apps actually show off. Additionally, points have things like color thickness and pressure and tilt and things like that. So what does that app actually do? And I showed you on the JavaScript real quickly. If you guys are interested, and you contact us, we can definitely make some of that source code available to you. Basically, has a server component, and this is what actually talks to the cloud service. It really doesn't do much more than talk to the cloud service. The client kind of broke up into three pieces, a set of ink analysis helpers, and that's what's doing things like converting the JSON into a tree and things like that, so I can do manipulations on it. Just a little easier. You don't even have to do that, but I chose to do it just for convenience and speed. the ink canvas control, and it really is just a HTML canvas that's wrapped up with pointer events and things like that. So fortunately, HTML canvas is actually really a full feature and allows you to do a lot of things for this. And then the rendered canvas control is basically what's doing the beautification. So when you saw the beautified shapes and things like that. So that's just how I chose to break up the code. So anatomy of request, if you guys have done any sort of REST API coding, this is nothing special. The only thing I wanted to point out is the fact that each one of our requests has a header and it has a subscription key, and that's something we give you as part of the private preview, and that we can make calls to the service. And then the last thing is the very last line is the response body is that JSON that has all the cool analyzed results that you can do things with. So just real quickly, like what all did I have to do differently here than before? And it's not a whole lot different than the local case, but there are a few things you have to worry about. So in this case, what I'm showing is just a snippet of the code that that was written to actually handle mouse or pen input devices, or events, I should say. So basically, monitor for everything, up, down, move, things like that. And what I wanted to point out is like on down, you basically have to start one of these strokes. And this is why I mentioned earlier, stroke is basically a first-class citizen in the ink world. We need to know basically when your pen went down and when it went up, and then all the points that were generated in between. So the down captures that information, starts a points list. The move basically continues adding onto that point list, and then also draws the stroke as well, which in this case is literally just a line 2 and a move 2 on the canvas, so very, very simple. You could do something more complicated with curves and stuff like that, but you saw the fidelity was actually pretty decent, so I didn't think that was even necessary. And then on up, you basically complete the stroke, and then this ink request data that you see there in the middle of the screen is basically that JSON object that we're forming up that we send to the service. And shape recognition, because I drew up this little ink analysis helper object, I'm able to do basically exactly the same code that we did before, where I can go and say, give me all the nodes that are of type, in this case, drawing, and then I can go and say, is an ellipse or a circle. Go get the axis information from that. And actually, HTML Canvas actually gives you this really nice ellipse function, which you don't even have to do much work to use at all, and here you get a nice pretty ellipse. Or circle. And then the next part of that code is basically just showing you how I basically did a move to line 2 to actually draw out the polygon shape. So really, really simple, actually, when you boil it down. And then the handwriting recognition part, it looks exactly like what you probably expect by now. You get the nodes of type ink word, and I can go through all the words. And this is where I have some helper functions in here, like that draw points array at the last line. That do some of the things that direct ink does for you very, very easily. But that function has to do a bit of work to do things like remove all the old pixels and add the new ones, things like that. And then the line here with the, I don't have a good way to highlight this at the moment. Actually, can I draw on here? I think I could draw on here, can't we? Didn't we determine we could do that?
You can after.
Oh, no. Let me go back real quick. And select the pen. There we go. So this particular line right there, this is that mapping I was talking about. So you have the strokes that you wrote originally, and then the information that came back from the analysis. So that's basically where it's mapping it all together. So last thing was basically a layout analysis, and this is where you can do the justification and things like that. And so you see I can get all the lines, and I basically find the leftmost point in that line and just shift everything over. So I have that at the very last line there, move strokes is my helper function. So that's a really quick whirlwind tour through that code, but you can see it's very, very similar to what we're doing for the intelligence aspect of Smart Ink, basically. So you see you have full capabilities with the cloud service and you can do cool things on other platforms now. So with that, I'll hand it back to Varun.
Yeah. Any questions so far? Before we jump to the next section where I'm going to show you guys even more inking capabilities that are built into Windows. All right, cool. We are going to hang out later, so if you guys have one-on-one questions, do feel to reach out and find us after the session as well as in the booth. So the next demo that I'm going to show you guys is what we call Microsoft Font Maker. How many of you know what Microsoft Font Maker is? F. Nobody. Awesome. Okay. So this is an app that we recently built, I think 2 or 3 months ago. This is available in the store. And the idea behind this app is you can simply create your own font that looks like your handwriting. So when you open this app, you will see a screen like this where you can just simply write using your pen and basically fill all the letters of the alphabet out, and this essentially gets converted to a font. To save time, I have a project that I had created earlier where I had already created my handwriting. I'm just going to make a small change where I'm going to just probably add some ears to my O. And then the next screen essentially lets you create, we write some sentences so that we understand how you're writing. And then you can adjust the spaces between characters. So if I want some people write very neatly by allowing space between characters as well as between words. So you can change however you like it. I actually write very dense, so I'm going to reduce. And then you simply hit create, and that creates a font file that it's as simple as that. I'm going to go to the documents folder, and you see this is the font file that was created. I simply open that, and you see the TTF file being there. I hit install, and this font is now installing on this machine. With that, then I can just open a very basic app like WordPad and type something like Microsoft Ignite, let's say. And then I can simply change that to my font, which is now suddenly going to look like my handwriting. And to show that, I don't know,
Yeah, there's the O.
There's my O, right? So a very simple app that allows you to create your own handwriting as a font that then you can start typing with if handwriting is something that you're worried about. And we saw a really cool response to this app where people are now creating secret codes where they are just writing different things in the app itself as their alphabet and then typing and then switching, which is a really cool experience. The next app that we have is the handwriting input experience. So how many of you are using the latest builds of Windows? Like, are you guys using Windows Insider builds where we have been pushing a lot of updates? Okay, so you probably haven't seen this. So the build that we released in March had this experience built in behind a setting, but this is now going to become the default experience in the latest version where I'm going to open this app that we have recently built that allows you to see all the controls that you get when you're building the latest Windows app using what we call XAML. And in this, I'm just going to go to the text control where you can see all the different text controls that are available to you. And the simplest one I can think of is the text box, right? Like this is the simplest one that you can think of. So whenever you are entering text in any text box, you can use your pen and simply tap into the text box. And without having to leave the focus, you get a writing surface right there. This is what we call inline handwriting. And with that, I can just simply start writing. And as I'm writing, you'll see the words that are getting recognized up there. And I can just select different words. Not only that, it supports different gestures. Like, let's say I want to insert a word in between. I can simply insert with the insert gesture and continue my writing. Or I can even strike things out that I don't want and hit commit to commit that text into the text box. So the whole idea that we're going after is you don't have to drop your pen down when you're using the pen as your main input device and continue your experience in the text box. And the thing to highlight is this is free. Like there is nothing that you need to change in your app. As long as you're using XAML text boxes in your app, you just get this. And there are very interesting scenarios that can get lit up because of this, right? Like if you have a field worker that is on the field, and for them typing on the field with a tablet in hand is very hard, well, now they can just use their pen to enter text and continue their workflow. This also supports multi-line text boxes. So if I switch here to the rich edit box, I can tap here, and then you get the similar multi-line experience where you can enter larger amount of text as well, and the experience stays the same. We are constantly looking for feedback, so give it a try. Get onto the latest Windows builds and give it a try. If you're on 1803, which was the build that was released earlier, if you go under the settings, pen and inking settings, you will find a setting that says allow writing in text boxes. That will enable this experience. So give it a shot and share your feedback, and we would love to know what you think. A few other demos that I would love to show you guys is the other one was maps. So I don't know if you guys have seen Windows Maps, but if you go in Maps, I'm going to show you guys Mount Rainier, which is a mountain in Pacific Northwest, if you guys haven't heard.
Close.
Yep. Rainier. Yep, there you go. So if I say, apparently there are a lot of mountains.
Missing an I.
Oh.
It's not the easiest word in the world to spell.
Rainier?
I-E-R. There you go.
Okay, there you go. So the cool thing that Maps team has done is they have integrated a lot of cool features. Come on, go there. Okay. My favorite is you can actually go 3D here. So you can go 3D and draw a path. So you can invoke the inking controls and then draw a path on Mount Rainier. And if you look, this path actually sticks to the mountain. And then you can do cool things with it, right? The other thing that I love about Maps is...
Give you a distance.
Yeah, it also gives you distance. So if I switch to, let's say, search for Seattle, right? I can basically go use this distance tool and just simply draw 2 points, let's say from Seattle to Linwood, and it automatically tells me how, like what the distance between that is, which is 15.6, those 2 points is, and 15.6 miles. You can also get directions. So let's say I want to go from Woodinville to Kirkland, I can simply know that simply by connecting those two dots, and you know. So again, these are more examples of once we understand what you're trying to find, ink can be more quicker way of getting things done. So yeah, so we have 10 minutes left. So I'm going to switch back to the presentation. We had one session about whiteboard yesterday, on Wednesday. If you guys missed that, go watch that online again. I think we're talking about how whiteboard can be applicable to you guys in your organizations where you collaborate. And we do have a session tomorrow where we have a few folks from Office and I believe Windows, where we're going to talk about how you can express yourself with inking and 3D, which is another very cool experience. Yeah, so Paint 3D is another very cool app that if you guys haven't seen, go check it out. You can do a lot of cool things with your pen in it. And we do have a booth in the expo, so we're going to hang out there till end of the day today. So if you have more questions, come find us there. Any questions so far? I had. Cool. So before you leave the room, I want to make sure that you think about how you can improve all the apps that you use today with inking, because the future that we are heading towards with machine learning and AI is The devices are going to adapt to how we use them rather than we having to learn how to use the devices, right? Like that's the shift that we are making, where input is becoming more natural, more fluid, and more expressive. So do think about all the apps that you use. What would you like to change? And do reach back to us. We have Windows Inc. at Microsoft.com, as well as we're active on Twitter at Windows Inc. And we have already done a few talks about this earlier. So you will find all the links in the presentation as well. That go a little bit more detail. The new part that we have today was the cloud part. So all the code samples and everything is on the slide as well.
Let me switch you over to the other deck so you get the right in slide.
Oh,
You have your turn.
sure. So there is a evaluation slide, I think. So you guys should go evaluate the session so that we know how we did. And yeah, that's it. Thank you, guys. We're gonna end.
Thank you all.